I can't see the chat, but I think Yemi, you can just give me feedback because I can't see the chat. So I believe everyone can see my screen.
Yes, I can see the thumbs ups popping up in the everywhere.
Okay, good. Thank you. So we are going straight into what is Git. I'm sure we are very familiar with GitHub, but not everybody will know that there's something different that's called Git. So what is Git? So the definition of Git is that Git is the distributed version control system that tracks changes in any set of computer files, usually for coordinating work among programmers who are collaboratively developing source code during software development. So it is like a software, you understand, that able to keep track of changes. Keeping track of file changes is very, very important because in some cases, you might want to revert back into what has been done in the past. And if you don't have a form of system to keep track of these changes, it can be very, very chaotic. So one of the goals of Git is to increase speed, data integrity, and support for distributed nonlinear workflow. What that means is that every change in your files, the person that makes the change is going to be like the details about the person uh is going to be reflected. So any change that anyone make, if I make a change, my name will be reflected, my username will be reflected there. If another person should make the change, the person's username will be reflected there. So that's the data integrity aspect. For distributed nonlinear workflow, I can be working on a particular feature, another person can be working on another feature, and there's a way that we can combine our works together and in a seamless and easy in a seamless manner. Because uh, previously, uh, people there's no like easy way to like collaborate with other people. Like you might think that okay, maybe you send a copy of what you've done to the person will combine it together just to update your project, and like or copying it from your laptop to another person's laptop. Or that kind of approach is going to be very, very slow. So apart from Git, there are other version control systems such as SVN and Mercurial. But the most popular version control system is called Git. So I hope that's clear. If that's clear, let us give like a thumbs up if that's clear.
Quick one to add to what you've said, as it's a really interesting one. Can you bring back the Git screen? So he has given you a really nice overview of what Git is in a very technical term. However, I will try to bring it down a lot to the term that made me understood what this was about when I was learning initially. How I got a brief understanding of this, and this you will relate to in terms of the picture that is there. Imagine pretty much that you are drawing a picture, and every time you add something new to your picture, be it the sun, a little bit of detail on the left, you take a screenshot or a snapshot with your camera. Now, Git is like that camera for people that write these computer programs. So now in this case, Git gives access to multiple people with cameras writing computer programs to take a screenshot of their code every single change they make along the way. Now, it tracks these changes and keeps it somewhere. That is where you have different versions and version controls of those versions. And then that can now be referred to at any point in time to give you access to what part of your code that you are actually after at that point in time. So I would just leave it there and let Ebo Bukumi continue.
All right, thank you, Yemi. So that's a simplified example of what Git is. So let's move on to the next slide. Sorry. Yeah. So the next slide, we have Git. Sorry, we have Git versus GitHub. So I want us to drop in the comments what do we what is like the difference between Git versus and GitHub. I want us to like drop what we have as an what's the idea we have about Git and GitHub, because I'm sure that term GitHub is more popular than Git. You're probably just hearing Git for the first time, because according to the survey, a lot of people said they are not very familiar with it. So let us see the comments chat. Can you hear me? I think you can help me with the chat.
Yes, I can see people already trying to drop some. We've got someone here. Autobong is saying now that Git is the engine room, while GitHub is like the front end of Git.
Okay.
Right after that, we have Kingsley saying, I don't have much words to explain. However, he's still currently typing.
Okay. Let's see what others can say. You can say what you know about what you understand by Git. You can say what you understand by GitHub, or you can compare the two. Let's see if you can get one more comment, one more chat. Okay. All right. So I think many people don't have enough words to describe it. All right. So let me explain. So Git versus GitHub. Just as the name implies, GitHub. Hub means, okay, someone said GitHub is a repository. Okay, that's very good. That might be a little bit uh, it's a big term for people that are not so familiar with it, but that's a very good answer. I like that answer. So GitHub is like a place where all these changes and all these files are being hosted on. That's what GitHub means. It's like a hub, a central place where all our work is being stored. Why Git is the software, is the version control software. Just like you said earlier, is a version control system. We are trying to manage versions. For example, when Facebook started, they have their own version 1. I don't know how many of us could remember how it was back then, version 1 of Facebook. Then Facebook began to improve. They improved like newer versions, version 2, version 2.1, versions 2.1.3, like and so on and so forth. So Git is a software that helps us to track those changes. Yeah, someone said it was called face mash at first. That's interesting. So Git is a software, is a tool that we can use to track those changes in our code, like our code changes, our file changes. With Git, we're able to track those changes on our local machine. Why GitHub is where we keep it. It's a central place where we keep it. You understand? It's just like, let me just like the more layman term is like a Google Drive. You understand? Google Drive, so that you can give access to other people, you know, and update the code. You understand? But Git is a software that helps you to manage those changes, and to also help you to interact with your repository uh, that is hosted in the cloud. So I don't know. Are we clear about this distinction? If you are clear, you can just leave a thumbs up in the okay. So I'm getting some thumbs up in the chat. Very good, very good, very good. So let's move forward, because this we want this workshop to be as straightforward as possible, and we want everybody to participate in the workshop. So moving on to the next slide, we have common terminologies that are used whether you're working with Git or GitHub. You understand? So we have a terminology called Git repository. We have Git branch, clone, checkout, push, pull, fork, master, origin, merge, pull requests, and commit. So these are just common terminologies that are used when they are working with Git and GitHub. So Akinyemi will drop a link. The link is going to be just like uh, a list of uh, a list of definition of terms. You guys can check that out later on. And those of you that left that, we can contact you back in the form. We will probably send those additional materials to your emails. So let me just go over these terminologies as fast as possible, and I'll try to explain them. So Git repository, like we discussed in the last slide, GitHub is a form of like repository. It is anything repository means a place, a source of information. And in this case, GitHub is is a platform that helps us to host our different repositories. For example, you can host, maybe for example, you are working on a final year project. You can work on your project and you host it, you create a repository on GitHub, you keep it there. If you are working in most of in workplaces, you have your different project they are working on. You can host it on GitHub. You understand? So repository is just a place where all those files and those file changes are stored. A Git branch, just like the name implies, Git branch. Git branch, what it means is just like is a particular instance, like a particular instance from an original source. So looking at this image, if you look at this image by the right, this dot here can be a particular branch, right? We'll see explain when we're doing the workshop, but just to give you a form of like illustration, this green dot here is like another branch that was created from this main blue branch. That means that at this first dot, there is like a snapshot taken. There's a snapshot of information there. You can create a new branch. Maybe you want to work on a new feature. You can call it a branch B, this green branch. You can continue to update the code base in that branch. You understand? And in the future, you can merge those branches together so that the two workflows will be like the two features will be merged together and become one, so that it will be more like powerful. The term clone, just like the names imply, means you are creating a fresh copy of a repository that's already existing. Clone means like creating a fresh copy. You understand? On your machine. Checkout means it's just a terminology that we use to switch to different branches. So if you say you want to check out this main branch, that means you want to see what are the files, what is like the changes so far on that main branch. You can say, oh, let me check out this green branch. When you check out on your machine, you will just see like, okay, what is going on in this branch. Then the next term is push, just like the name implies, push. We are trying to push like changes. So when we make some changes on our local machine, like on our computer, we push it to the repository, to the server, so that anyone that has access to the repository can see the update that we've made. So that's a common terminology, push. Then pull. Pull is just to pull the changes that is in the repository. Because if person A makes some changes on his computer and he pushes the code to the repository, person B will have to pull it. He will have to clone it. Once he clones it on his machine, he will have to pull those changes so that it can reflect that, okay, this person A has worked on these files. And like we said, Git helps us with data integrity. So person B will be able to see the changes that was made by person A. The terminology called fork is a funny terminology, but what it means is just to create a fresh copy of a project to your own account. So sometimes Facebook, WhatsApp, Google, they have a lot of what they call open source projects. That means projects that is accessible to everybody in the whole world. Open source projects. So you can have a copy of that project in your own GitHub account. So what you're going to do is that you're going to fork the project. In our workshop, we are going to fork a particular project and we're going to contribute to that project. There's a terminology also called master or main. It's usually like used interchangeably and it is used to describe a particular type of branch. So you can either, some people call it the master branch. Some people call it the main branch. It's just a name of a branch. It's just a name. So looking at this image here, this blue uh this blue branch, this blue line, we can call this blue line our master branch. That means the master yes, our master branch. Someone can create a green branch here and call it maybe feature. Maybe, for example, let's say we want to build a social media application. If the first code base that we've started, like the base project, is in the master branch, someone can just create a new branch and start working on the camera picture upload on another branch. So you guys can work together. The person will just have to create his own branch from the master branch or main branch. It's still the same, the same meaning. So another terminology is origin. Origin is just like the origin of this, like the origin of a project. So it's just like it's pointing to the remote address. That's like the origin. Then merge. Merge is a terminology, just like the name implies, means to merge two things together. In reality, in practical, we and in everyday business software in companies, once person A has like applied these features, for us to bring let's say, okay, like I was describing earlier, there's the main branch and a developer created, or maybe a data scientist or AI engineer created a new branch and is working on the camera feature. Once they have worked on the features to a very good extent, they can now merge it together. So if you look at this image in this on the right, if you notice that there was a branch created here and the branch is now merged back into the main branch. So at this particular point, the product that they are building is updated and it already has a new feature. So merge is a terminology to describe the combination of two branches. We are going to merge in once we start our workshop in a few minutes. We are going to be merging people's pull requests. So another common terminology is pull request. Pull request, as the name implies, is a request for someone to pull in your code into their own repository. So, like if you are working in a collaborative environment, you don't make changes directly to the main branch. In most cases, so that you don't cause confusion, you don't make changes directly to the main branch. You make changes directly to your own branch. Then you are going to create a pull request asking the owner of the repository to merge your code into the main branch. So that's like a description of the term pull request. Yeah, you are making a request that okay, the admin should accept your pull request and it should accept your updates into the main or master branch because maybe it's either you've created a new feature or you've fixed an issue, maybe like a bug in the application or in the project. Then the final most common terminology is git commit. So commit is just like a snapshot, like Akinyemi was describing earlier. The snapshot is like you create a commit of that snapshot. That commit contains information about like who made the change and what date uh the change was made and the files that you've edited. So every commit carries a commit message. And if you look at this image here, you see that at this particular point, this person created a commit, and the message in the commit is that okay, this is my initial commit. Then, if you look at this point, there's another commit made. That means auto config. That means the person added an auto config file at this particular point. Then, if you notice, there's a green line here. Someone created a new branch, a green branch, and he created a commit to that branch, setup, markup, and so on and so forth. So these are like commits. They're like messages on the changes, just like a description of the amount of changes that has been made. Because we are trying to manage the different versions of the application. So that's a lot. It takes some time to sink in, and it takes practice to to get more familiar with it. But these are the major most used terminologies when you're working with Git and GitHub. So Yemi,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is even for me, my cheeks are getting red already, although you cannot see it. But I believe from my little understanding and the little work I've done with Git and GitHub, majority of what he has said is just a way to tell you guys that you can work on the same project, be it a software project, be it a data project, be it you an analyst, be it whatever you are doing, showcase whatever you're trying to showcase, or contribute to an open source, or contribute to a company, or be a consultant for someone and push whatever you are doing to the existing work that the company already has on ground. You can work on that main software or main project that they have on ground without actively affecting what they had there. So let's say, for instance, they had like an app that's already in production that people are already using. He can still be doing his own work on it without affecting that one in production, and he can even finish the whole work, send it to them, make them check it all in GitHub using Git, and they can see all these things without it affecting. So if they've now tested it and see, okay, this would not cause plenty bugs and all those things, they can then effectively, after he has pushed to them, pull it and then merge it into their main branch and then send that update, and everybody gets an update on their app, and they can see, oh, this is usable, or on their website, or whatever situation you're trying to make to in that particular kind of scenario. I think you're muted.
Oh, sorry guys. Yeah. So this is the next slide. We are diving directly into the workshop. I mean, we are going directly into the workshop. So the overall phases of this workshop is divided into three. We have the Git setup, we have the GitHub setup, and we're going to work on a live practical contributing to an open source project. And it's going to be very, very exciting. I hope you guys are with your laptop. And if you are not with your laptop, you can just encourage us by dropping some support on the chat. So I think we have some messages, okay, on the chat, okay. Uh, so I hope we are with our laptops and with our computers, and please signify if you are with a computer. Can signify with is it possible? Yep. So that's very good. I think most of us are ready to go into the workshop. Uh, so I think if you have a GitHub account, can you signify if you don't have a GitHub account, signify in the chat, please. Let us see. Let us start with that. If you don't have a GitHub account, signify in the chat. So if most of us have a GitHub account, that means we might not need to dwell so much on that. It said I don't have any. Can we make 2? I think it's better for you to reuse your old GitHub accounts. If you can try forgot password, you know. Okay, some people say they have accounts, please. Yeah, the missing is recorded. Okay. So I think lots of people are saying that they don't have a GitHub accounts. All right, so we're gonna start with that. Can you hear me?
Quick, a quick one. I think I see a question in the chat. Autobong, you can always reach out. I would personally tackle that question for you. This question, if I tackle it, might cause a lot of confusions for a lot of people. So I will tackle that question for you later on. Thank you.
Okay, so yep. So we'll be creating we need someone to volunteer to share their screen to create the account because I already have an account and I don't want to create an extra account because yeah, to be like a waste of accounts. So yeah, can we have someone? So for you to create an account, you just go to github.com, this page. So who is going to volunteer to share their screen that will guide the person to create the account? Someone said it doesn't have. Ogumbanjo Pere. Will you share your screen so that we create your account and everyone that doesn't have accounts will follow? So I don't have. Okay, who is going to volunteer to sign up their accounts now because we want to guide you guys to create your account. So okay, this is the link. I dropped the link in the chat. So Akinyemi, can we have someone to share their screen so that we can just create the account for the person?
All right. Ogunbanjo, I believe I think you're okay to share your screen, right? I would see how we can make that happen.
So if you have an account before and you've forgotten your password, I strongly suggest you try the forgot password approach to recover your account. You understand? Because it's not very good to have many accounts. Like it's not as if it's bad. You can have multiple accounts, but you know, it's more convenient to just use only one account. So I need someone to share their screen. Someone needs to share their screen.
So that is the link. I can drop it again for you.
All right, Kingsley, will you share your screen? Let us create your account. Or if you're not able to share your screen, let us know.
Okay, yeah. Says it will share screen. It's okay.
Yeah, anybody can volunteer to share their screen. No, just share your browser. He said he's ready to share.
Can you try again now?
Anybody that's able to share.
Share icon is grayed out. Okay, that's understandable.
Okay. I think you just have to give him
he's gonna be able to share now.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yes, we can see your screen.
So I just need to click on the link, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. For some reason the link is being blocked. I don't know.
You can right click on the link and copy.
Okay.
And then go into your browser and then paste that in.
Yes.
Perfect.
So good. I think Yemi, you can carry on with this.
So at this point, what you would need to do would be to put in your email address.
Or to sign up?
Yes, put in your email address. See, right? Yes,
Here.
right there. Yes. And then sign up. Yes. So you might want to use that. That's a strong password. Continue.
Is it gonna save automatically? Because okay. Does it mean the username has been taken?
So there's a bit of instruction concerning the username. Your username may only contain alphanumeric, that's alphabets and numbers, or single hyphens. You can't have underscores, but you can have hyphens.
So you can use hyphen.
Or Kings 91. That works as well. Yes, that works. And continue. So from here, you solve that by saying you have to look for a picture on the right that has 0 of this. So look for the picture that doesn't have any of that particular ball thing here on the right. Keep going. Yes, that will be this one. Then submit. That's one done. Then you need one picture of that hand. So I think this has only one in there. So that's the correct one. Submit. And then you need a picture that doesn't have that award thingy. So let's keep checking the pictures.
So I think we're going to have a big storm here.
This
Yeah,
one, right?
yeah, perfect.
West Ham Stadion in Dortmund, and a rather damp Karen in Laura Royce managed to sneak onto the pitch a few moments ago.
You've got some noise in your background. Then you would have gotten a code sent to your email. So now you can sign in.
Continue, yeah?
So at this point, you could have not applicable. If you're a student, you could put a student. If you're a teacher, you could put a teacher. This is just personal information about you. So it could be how many teams members, so just me, and then not applicable.
Yeah, so you can select it as a student. You can select the option of students. The option of students, if you have your student's email address, it gives you some additional like goodies. So you can just select students. Yep.
But at some point, having graduated, the school, takes you out of some certain Microsoft.
Yeah, that's not an issue. You're just signing up as a student. It's not gonna affect that.
Okay. So continue, yeah.
Yes. You can select everything here because these are like a lot of functionalities that people use like on a day-to-day in their careers. So select everything.
You might want to check if some other people are trying to do what exactly you are guiding me to do to make sure they are following.
Yes. I think is there anyone that needs additional support?
Yeah, definitely. I can see the chat is open to everyone. If you're having any issues, you can easily drop a question, but just follow it step by step as it is right now. So learn to ship. Yeah, that will be the free version. You want to scroll down and continue. Yes. And
Yes.
congratulations.
Good.
Congratulations. Yeah. So you have a very fresh GitHub account. So that's very nice. Who else has been able to set up their accounts, log in, if you have been able to log in back to your accounts, or if you've been able to create a fresh account, let us know, because that's very we've already done, we're done with our like one of three sections of the workshop. So any feedback from you guys? Is anyone having like trouble? Uh, is anyone having trouble to create the account or something? Said.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, you've been able to log in.
the session is recorded, but you guys should try to follow. Okay, someone is trying to reset their password. Okay.
All right, that's okay. You can always refer at a later point to the recording if you get your password back, but just try as much as possible to follow along. Majority of what we'll be doing will be easy, straightforward things as well. But as it stands right now, he has been able to, that's Kingsley, I believe, has been able to get an account started, and this is what the dashboard of a fresh GitHub account looks like.
Yep. That's cool. So I think we can proceed with the. Please, can we mute our mics? Can we mute our mics, please, if we are not speaking? So we can continue with we can we can continue with the second aspect of the workshop. So
You can select everything, Ogunbanjo.
yeah. So Kingsley, you can stop sharing. We have to share my screen to go to the next section of the workshop. Yeah, thank you very much, Kingsley. I think Perry is able to set up accounts too. I think Perry is able to set up our accounts too. Drop a message if you are once you are done with setting up your account, Perry. So I think we are done with this GitHub setup. So that's very good. So the next thing is to set up Git. Like we said earlier, there's a difference between Git and GitHub. So what we just did now is that we just created a GitHub account, which is where we are going to be storing our code base. So now we want to install Git. And so because people are using different machines, some people are using a MacBook, some people are using a Windows laptop, we will have to split the installation guide into two parts. So I think Akinyemi, would you like to go first with the Windows guide? Someone has his hand raised up. Kingsley, you can ask your question, please.
Okay. The question I want to ask, some of us here have different career. Like, so many people doing different things can use GitHub. Some people are here and they are data analysts. Some people here are business analysts. Some people here are software developers. While some others, like you guys, are AI engineers. So I don't know if the setup is going to be the same, because you might be making some settings that are particular to AI engineers, while a data analyst shouldn't do that. Depending on what we are going to be uploading and some settings we are going to be making.
Okay.
You understand? It's just like
Alright.
someone, we are learning how to drive, but you are going to be driving in the UK, which means you are going to be on the left, and someone is going to be driving in Nigeria, which means he's going to be on the right. So we can take that into consideration while making some settings. So we don't just join the wrong line.
All right. I think I will answer that quickly. That's a very nice question. So whether you are a software engineer, whether you are a data scientist, business analyst, whether you are earning 40,000 pounds, whether you are earning 100,000 pounds, it's still pretty much the same setup for everyone. You understand? So everyone, like, it's still the same. There's nothing that are changing. It's absolutely the same. So the only aspect that might change is if you are maybe if you have like a company, if you have like a company and you want to go through the organization routes, that's going to involve money. You're going to pay extra money for that because you have a lot of people that are working on your projects. So apart from that, this account setup is pretty much the same for everyone. So like there's no issue at all.
Yeah.
That's a
To
very good
quickly add
question.
to what you've said, I'm just going to reiterate on what he has said. The setup for someone that's a business analyst, setup for someone that is into software development, setup for someone that is a project manager is all the same thing. Now, in organizational terms, where you would have teams and people working together under a particular organization, and their repositories might actually be private as well. This will require certain level of access in GitHub, and this will be a GitHub Pro platform, which is not a free platform. However, on the level of individuals handling certain projects with others, as well as doing a bit of high level stuff as well that could earn you a lot of money, the GitHub free version, which is the setup we are giving to you guys now, is what you need to follow. And that does not differ for any category that you may fall into.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that. So let us move into the GitHub setup, Git setup. Yemi, would you like to go or shall I go proceed with the Mac users?
I think you should do the Mac first,
All right, all right. So guys, I think we will need a practical. Okay, let me just go. We will also need another volunteer because the setup is a little bit different for Windows users. I'm using a Mac book, so I will go with the steps that you can use to install Git on your Mac. So are going to want that's what you want to do is that I'll drop a link in the group chat with another account. So I dropped a link. You guys can copy that link. Then you open your terminal. So the content of the link is coming. This is the link. I'm going to open it. You see this. This is what you should see. Download. So this is the Git logo. Download for macOS. So there are several options for installing Git, and you can choose one of the following. But what I usually use is that I usually use Homebrew. So you want to control command click on this Homebrew to take you to this website. Please, if you are following, I'll be checking the charts to see if you're not having any issues. So once you've done that, you want to click on this icon here to copy this text. Once you've done that, you open your terminal. You can search for terminal here, terminal, right? You open it, then you paste Ctrl V into your terminal. So if this thing is too small, let me try to make it bigger. Bigger, Command plus. Yep. So when you paste it in there, you click enter. It's gonna install Homebrew for you. So it might ask you for super user password. So you press enter. I already have it installed. So it's gonna take a while to install. I already have it installed, so it's gonna take some time. It might not take much time. So Kingsley, are you able to follow these few steps? Let's see. You can unmute, Kingsley.
I'm not able to follow the steps because I'm just trying to see if I can join the meeting on a different screen so I can see what you are doing.
Yeah.
What I
Uh,
follow. But
all right. Okay. The first thing is I copy this link that I pasted in the
yeah,
chat.
done.
come to this website by control clicking on this Homebrew, this install Homebrew. Once you click on it, it's going to open this website.
Yes.
Once you've done that, you click on this icon.
Yes,
Once
I've
you
done.
click on that icon, then you go back to your computer and you open your terminal. You click on this your launchpad.
Yes.
Search for terminal. This is your terminal. You open it. Then you paste the link inside.
Okay.
When you paste the link inside, you press enter to activate it. It might ask you for a super user password, right?
Okay.
So then you follow the process for installing it. It might take a while, but once it's done on your system, you can just notify. It will ask you to press enter to continue. Then you press enter to continue. It will install everything. It's going to take a while. So once that's done, is it processing on your laptop? You can
I'm
share your
just trying
screen
to.
if you want to.
Okay. I don't know if I'm able to share. Can you see my screen?
Not yet. I guess it's coming up. So yeah, it's coming up. So let's see the process.
So this is
Paste
what I
it.
have now.
Yeah, paste it inside. Yep, enter. Yes, your password.
Is it the password I used for?
No, your machine password.
Oh.
That's your laptop's password, your MacBook's password.
Okay, but I'm typing it. It's not typing.
Yeah, he's not going to. He's not going to type. That's it.
Okay.
So for every letter you type, in as much as it's not showing, it's typing.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just
So
some
enter.
security measure. Yep. Press enter once you are done with your password.
Yeah, I'm done.
Press enter again to continue. So it should take. Yep. So it's going to take a while to install. So while that is installing, I think Yemi, you might want to go ahead with the first step for Windows. Then before you go ahead, Kingsley, I think while your system is processing, you can stop sharing so that I show you the final step after you've done that.
Okay.
So it's going to show Windows users how to install Git on their laptops. So you stop sharing. Good. So after you've done that, Yemi, before you present for Windows, Kingsley, once you've done that and that is successful, on this website, this is the next command they are going to copy and paste in the terminal, and it's going to install Git for you on your machine.
So pretty much you are copying that command without the $sign.
Without the $sign. So I'm going to paste the command in the chat so that Mac users can just copy it and paste it. I don't know if there's any other Mac users in the house. If you're a Mac user, please signify so that you can also provide support to your own side. So those are the 2 steps. Daniel said he's a Mac user. Hope you've been able to follow these steps. And yeah, so once the installation is done, Kingsley, then the next command for you to do is brew install Git. It will install Git for you on your Mac. So Yemi, I think you can show the setup, because once you show them the setup, we are going to come back and continue the remaining steps together, both Mac and Windows. So Yemi, the floor is yours. So stop sharing.
Okay. Lovely. Hello, fellow Windows user. Welcome to the realm of PCs that allows you to do things easily. Taking a cheap shot at Mac users like there. I am going to share my screen and I will be pasting a link in the chat box as well, so it can be easy for you guys to navigate to that. So what you would need to do pretty much is to visit this site that I have put in the chat, which is git-scm.com. Once you visit that site, it brings you up to a particular page that looks exactly like what you have on the sharing screen. And voila, once you have that, you click on this little guy here that has download for Windows. Once you click that, you wait for it to load into this other screen. Now, majority of the laptops that are Windows laptops that we have right now are 64-bit laptops. So I believe for over 90% of the people here, you would need to use this one, 64-bit Git for Windows setup. However, there are two 64-bits here. I don't want you to get confused. In this case, we are using the standalone installer 64-bit Git for Windows setup. So in another way, you can check if your PC is 64-bit or 32-bit, but I'm of the, if you are Windows 11, you are most likely a 64-bit. Windows 10 most likely 64-bit. So this will work for majority of the people. So if you click on that 64-bit, it will automatically try to download that. Let's save it. We'll download it and we'll give it a quick seconds for it to download. And that is it downloading. It's done. All you do is you run that particular file. It would ask you for yes or no, do you want to run it? And then it pops up the Git setup. All you need to do at this point is click next. And then leave everything as is. Don't change anything. And then you click next. At this point, leave it the way it is. Don't change anything. You click next. Leave it the way it is. So at this point, once you get to where it's asking, adjusting the name of initial branch. So as it is right now, previously, Git used to use master as their initial origin branch. However, due to some issues along the master thingy in terms of black life movements and a lot of things, they changed it to main. So that is why it is asking for this. So it says many teams already renamed their default branch. Common choices are main, trunk, and this. So you want to override and leave it as main. And then you can click on next. And then leave it the way it is. Don't change anything. This is also okay. Everything else is okay. Everything else is fine. Everything else is fine. Everything else is fine. Everything else is fine. Just keep going, next, next, next. And because I have it, it will first remove the previous one and give me the new one. So now you wait for it to fully install. This takes a couple of seconds to install, about 20 seconds thereabouts.
I think we need to start giving out MacBooks to everyone because it seems like it takes so many steps.
So now
For Windows.
that has installed, all you need to do is click on finish. Once you click on finish, you have successfully installed Git and you can access a lot of that function by going to your start menu and searching for Git bash. And you would have an app called Git bash that if you click that app, it opens up a terminal that you can use to communicate effectively with and around Git and GitHub. So at this point, we are done with the setup for Windows. Every other thing moving forward for this point for Windows and MacBook will be the same thing. So we can merge at this point forward.
Nice one, nice one, nice one. I hope everyone has been able to follow those steps. And I think what we can do next is that we can all type in our Git version inside the chat. So for you to check your Git version in your terminal or in your Git bash, I think you just write Git hyphen version. Then you see your Git version here. So if you are able to
you are not
see
sharing your
this,
screen.
oops, sorry about that. Yeah, go back. Someone said Windows for life. I think you should get a MacBook and you understand that it's MacBook for life. So I said we are all going to check our Git version, and we are going to post our version in the chat so that we'll know that we are all on the same page. And for you to check your Git version in your terminal or in your Git bash, you just need to just type in Git version. Then it shows you your Git version. So what I want us to do is that we should check our Git version like this, and we should paste we should write the results in the chat. So my own Git version is 3.2 point type it 2.39.3. Yeah. So yep. Someone said this one is 2.37. I mean, it's a little bit older, but there's no much difference. Nope, you can't do this before you paste the brew install Git. You have to. So if you are using the Windows, I mean, if you're using the MacBook, paste in the brew install Git, then press enter to install it. Okay, Windows saying, some people are saying 2.45. Okay. Someone is asking a question at this point. What do I click? Finish. Dan no said how is Ebuka, can we do this? No, you can't do that before placing your brew install. Finish. Good. So I think Kingsley, how far with the has the installation completed? I'm not following. Said he's not following. Who is not following? Why are you not following? Ogumbo, why are you not following? What's the issue? What's the first thing to type in the bash before checking the version? You don't just git. Okay, let me paste it for you in the chat. It's what I'm sharing my screen. Just git hyphen version. This is what you're going to type in the this is what you're going to paste, type in the don't use copy and paste, type it git hyphen version to see your git version. So if you are
quick one, I think she was asking what is the first thing to type on bash before checking their version. So if you had followed a bit of the instruction where it has this link, I am taking you to that link. This link, that was the very first step in MacBook. So on that link, you would click on download for MacBook, and it will take you to the Homebrew website. As is that your camera is on, it will download you to, it will take you over to the install Homebrew. And then on the Homebrew page, there is a set of command on that particular page in which you click a button that was on the right side and paste that in your terminal. When you paste that in your terminal, exactly. When you click that and you paste that in your terminal, you press enter, it would most likely ask you for a super user password and SU password. You type the password of your MacBook or of your Mac Mini or whatever Mac Apple system you're using and press enter, and you wait for that process to finish. You follow that process, wait for it to finish. Once that process finishes, then you go ahead and put in brew install git. That is this one that I'm referencing right now in the chat. So once you put that in, you wait for that process as well to finish. Once that process has finished, it means you've installed Homebrew. Then Homebrew in turn now helps you to install Git. That is brew install Git. So once that brew install Git finishes, you can now do a git dash dash version, because you are checking to see, okay, I have fully installed Git now. How do I check the version of the Git that I currently have access to?
All
I
right.
believe that should
Hopefully,
help.
hopefully, you should be able to. So I think the person can mute. Yeah. So hopefully they are able to get it. I can see a lot of Git versions on the chat. So we're going to be moving to the next step. So what we're going to do is that we want to configure our Git. We are going to configure our Git username and our Git email. So like we discussed earlier in the slide, let me go to the slides. 1 second, please. Where's my slides? So like I said earlier in the slides that Git helps us with check present. At this slide in the beginning here, there was a point that its goals includes speed, data integrity. The aspect of data integrity is that whosoever makes a change, the person's identity will be there, like the person's name and email, so that you can contact the person, and if you like, for any reason, need to ask questions like, okay, why did they do this? Like every change that is committed to the Git version system is going to be like there's a stamp of the person that committed the changes and the time that the changes was made. So what we're going to do in this next step of workshop is that we're going to configure our global Git username and email. So let us check if you have configured that. We are going to use a command. If you look at this terminal, just follow this command and type it in your terminal or in your git bash. Let's say git config hyphen list. Once you do this, it shows you your configuration. And as you can see from this configuration, let me increase this to be bigger. You can see that my user.name is equals to my name. My user.email is equals to my Gmail address, right? So what we are going to do is that we're going to type in this command like I type. I'm going to paste it in the chat. You're going to type it. Don't do copy and paste, right? Type it one by one in your terminal or in your terminal or in your git bash, and see what it brings out there. For a lot of people, it's going to say user.name is it's going to tell you that it's going to show that there's no username configured. So yeah, I want us to try that. Then I need to see your responses. Let us see. You can paste what you are seeing on the chat. Hold the step point to start from get the command prompt in bash. Credential helper, okay. All right, so Daniel, did you see user.name? Daniel, are you able to see user.name like or user.email like this? No, that's good. That means that you need to set it up. So I believe that most of us that just installed it, we have not set it up. So the next step is that I'm going to paste this link. I'm going to paste this link in the chat. Then, okay, so put this link in the chat so that we can have access to some examples. Okay, somebody posted username Dicky. I am not sure, maybe that's what you actually want to be in your username, because it looks like there is a quotation mark in front. So I pasted a link in the chat. That link, you can open it. I'm going to open it now. So this is, let me open this chat so that I can copy this link. You copy this link and you go to this website. Let's go to the website. Let us see what is there. No, not this. Yep. You should see this page. So the command that we used, the first command was this git config list. That means we're trying to list out the configurations that are set for our GitHub. This git config list that gave us these results. So for most of you guys that are just installing Git, you will have to configure your identity. You can see this, your identity, right? So what you're going to do is that you're going to type in this command, git config -- global user.name, then in quotation mark, your name, right? So type it one by one, look at it. You don't do copy and paste. Don't do copy and paste. So just do git in your terminal or your git bash config space global user, small letter u, user dot name, then your quotation mark, you write your name. For example, my own is Bukume Loco, right? When you do it like this, then you press enter. So that's what I want all of us to do now. Go and configure your global username. I've pasted the link in the group chat. This is the command. Don't use John Doe. Don't use John Doe. Use your own name for your local machine. So I'm going to wait a bit for us to do that, because the next step is for us to configure our email address like this. So we don't put this $sign. We don't need to put this $sign in the back. We just type anything in front of the $sign. I hope that's clear. So I'm waiting for you guys to give me feedback. Let us know if you need any support. If you have been able to successfully do that, let us know. We'll wait a bit for you. Done. Someone said done. Very good. Very good. Someone said done. Another person said done. That's very good. It's straightforward. So that means you've done that. If you should now, let us check again to see our configuration. So you can see you can type in your what's it called, git config hyphen list again to see whether your username is going to show this time. So confirm if it shows in the chat. So Daniel Azizat, Wiki, you guys should, yep, both name. Someone has done both name and email. Very good. So yes, it shows now. He said it shows now. That's very good. So so like this, after like the first example is to do git config username. Now I want, if you've not done it previously, you can do it now. So what I'm going to do in your git bash or in your terminal for your Mac, you are going to type git config global user dot email. Carefully type it, no need to rush. Then you type in your email address. My email address, blah 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 blah, at gmail.com. Then you press enter. In this one, there's no quotation mark, right? Just like in the website. I'm not going to press enter because I've already done my own. But you can always see it here. This is the pattern. We are not copying this $sign. This $sign is just to show that it is a command that you can type in the terminal. Yep. Git someone okay. Yep. So after you have done for your username and your email address, I think you are already good to go. You are good to go in the aspect of contributing to projects, whether open source or not open source. either to your company's project or on that person's project. Yep. So I think we are done. It's saying Git. Someone said it's saying it's saying the Git config is not a keyword. That means that you have not installed Git on your system. That's the meaning. I have. She said she has. Said Git config is not. You might want to said I have the git command. She said she has the git cmd. Try it again. Don't put a $sign. Just write git, type it by yourself. Don't copy and paste. Git. Would you like to share your screen? All right. Let us see if she can share her screen briefly, because I think we have made a lot of progress. We are done with the Git setup and the GitHub setup. The next thing we should be contributing to the open source. So Yemi, I think you can give her access to share her screen. I will stop sharing my screen now so that we can attend to her. Kingsley, where are you? Let us know what's going on. So Temitayo, let us see your screen. You can share your screen for us to see. Chika Kemi will give you access. All right. So git config. Okay. You see, you are not okay. Okay. You are not supposed to put hyphen after your config. Just click on your terminal. Click on your terminal. Then remove the two hyphen backspace. Backspace. Remove it. Yeah, it's okay. Press enter. Okay.
Should I try to do the username thing?
Scroll up, scroll up. It's supposed to show you other things. Scroll up. Okay. Sorry. Go down back. Type git config hyphen git config space config space hyphen list list. Yes, this is the correct command. Type in enter. Yeah, this is it. Good. So you can see that your username and your password, your username and your email is not there. So you need to now use git config, like this command, git config hyphen global user.name, like in the website. No, wait, go back. That's your config is not correct. Config fig space hyphen global space user dot name space quotation mark, one quotation mark on
Space
your
again.
no, just one space, then quotation mark, like quotation mark. Uh yeah, quotation, put a quotation mark here. The next command is quotation mark here. Yep, correct. Then type in your name. I think your name is Temitayo. Then close the quotation mark with another quotation mark. Good. Press enter. So it has already said. So call your git config hyphen list again to see the list. Let us see what is there. Maybe it has updated.
Should I put the global again?
No, you put the list hyphen list. That's the command to list the configuration. Just type list after the hyphen. Just click yeah. Enter. You can see that. Wait. Yeah, you can see that your user.name is Temitayo Olani. Can you see it?
Yes.
That's very good. So you have to do the same for your email. And look, I pasted some links in the chat. So
Okay.
just for your email, you're going to put git config hyphen global user.email instead of. So let us do
Name.
that quickly instead of name. Yeah, let's do that quickly before we move on to the final aspect of the workshop, so I can round up. Someone is raising up their hand. Dami. Yemi, I don't know if you can give person access to unmute or something.
I think they can unmute.
Yeah, Dami, if you are raising up your hand, you can just say something. Then space, yeah, space your email address. No, don't put the quotation mark. Don't put your quotation mark here. Just type in your email address. No, that is not correct email, yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. You can drop the hand now.
Yep. So call your command again to check your list of configuration. Okay. Yep. Let us see. So you can see that it's already set up globally. That's very good, and that's very, very good. So I don't know,
Okay.
Yemi, should we take a 10 minutes break or 5 minutes break, or what do you think? Or should we just continue to the last part of the of the of the workshop?
Guys, I think we can all take like a 5 minutes break, drink some water, maybe take a quick jog around the house, or a coffee, or get a cuppa or something like that, and we'll
Yeah.
reconvene back by 8:30.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
take a short break. So anyone
So
that is having issues can still stay on the call. We can see if we can assist the person.
now let everybody stay on the call. You can just stay muted, and then we'll come back at 8:30.
Yeah.
Right.
So
See you guys
if you
in
are
8 minutes.
all right.
All right. And I believe
Hope,
we're back.
hope we've not forgotten about the class. Yeah. Yep. So I hope everyone is here. Yep. If you are online, you can leave a thumbs up. Let's see. Whether we'll have to wait for some people to come back or something. I'll be back. Okay, thumbs up. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Ogumbo. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So I think we can go straight into the last part of the workshop. Hope everyone is here because this is the like final intense part. So what we did, okay, let me share the repository first. Okay. Yemi, will you paste the project?
That's the repo link, yes?
Yes.
Get that out.
So what we want to do now is that let me share my screen. All right, so this is what we want to work on now, contributing to open source projects. This is not just limited to open source projects. You can contribute to your company's projects and any projects. This is like, but what we are going to show you today is like the conversion for contributing to open source. In most cases, in your companies, they will add you as part of the members of the repository. You understand? Because sometimes you might want to have people that, okay, these people should have access to the repository. You understand? Why, if it's an open source, some people are not going to be allowed into the repository. There's a approach which is very similar to the closed source approach. So while in the final part of the workshop, we want to keep this workshop as short as possible. So you guys have access to this link. You guys should have access to this link. This is the repository that we've set up for you guys to participate, to get your hands dirty on. So the name of the repository is The Legend of King Alexander. And in the README file, we wrote a small notes to the README file and said, welcome to the Legend of King Alexander, a unique interactive story filled with intentional typos, that's typographical errors, for you to find and fix. So what you are going to be doing is that you're going to be fixing problems in the repository. So that's like a very, very nice practical that we'll be taking on. And one thing that I want you to know is that the difference between open source and closed source projects is usually that for open source projects, you can easily find them online. Like you can see the content of the repositories, but for closed source, it's going to be closed. You won't be able to see the content. And in your GitHub account, if you see, you can search for like you can just search for project. Let us say data science. You can see a lot of open source projects here that you can just look into that. Okay, what's this person working on? This one just had a single readme. So all these one like they're like open source projects. But another thing again to look into is the license. Some open source projects and they have different licenses. And for example, if you want to build your own company and you want to make use of some projects, you have to know the kind of license, whether you can use for commercial use or not. But that's, by the way, that's not our focus. So what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be looking into this repository and we'll be taking some steps. Anytime you want to contribute to open source projects, the first thing to do is to go and read the contributing guidelines. Most open source projects have a guideline in the repository that shows you what to do whenever you want to contribute to open source projects. And as you can see, we have a contributing.md file here. And before you start, please make sure to read the contribution guide for detailed instruction on how to participate. So we can just click on this here and we'll see the contribution guide. This is like a guideline on what to do, you understand, in order to contribute. So we are going to be following this guide step by step. Thank you for contributing. We are welcome contributions of all kinds, from bug reports to documentation improvements, code enhancements, etc. So these are the steps. So for you to contribute, most of the time, you will clone the project to your laptop, and if you discover like an issue, maybe there's an issue with a particular button that is not being clicked, you understand, what you usually do is that we usually want to create what they call an issue. So for you to create an issue, every repository usually have this issue section here. So from here, you can see these issues, right? If you notice that there's an issue in the project, you click on these issues to go and see. The reason why you're checking these issues to go and see is to see if anybody has solved the issue, like if anybody has worked on the issue to solve it, or if the issue is not solved. For example, let us see. Let's go back to this repository again. Let us see. So for today's workshop, I want you guys to contribute to only part 1 of this project. So you click on part 1. Let us read it. Part 1. Once upon a time, it is this README file that is being displayed here, right? Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a young prince named Alexander. Alexander was known throughout the kingdom for his kindness, you can see, and bravery. Can anyone spot any issue in this line? If you can spot any issue in this second line, please drop it in the chat. Let us see if we are following. Good. You can see that, yeah, we can see that there are a lot of issues with this project, and that means that we can be able to contribute to this project because we've been able to detect that there's a problem on that line too. So let us go back to that contributing guideline. Let us go and see what we're going to do, because we've detected an issue in line 2, right? Let's go back to the contributing guideline. So what we're going to see is that contributing guideline, contributing.md said, create an issue. So we've been able to detect an issue. We're going to create an issue by clicking on the new issue button, provide a clear and descriptive title for the issue. For example, part 2 or part 1, sentence number 4. Describe the problem or propose feature in detail. So sometimes some people used to ask for additional feature. For example, in the past, Google Maps did not have this live view feature. So it was a feature that some people must have requested that it has. So whenever you are creating an issue, you can request for fixes or for a new feature. You understand? And you can also select a label for that issue. Don't worry, I will show you now. So once you create an issue for part 1, sentence number 2 that you guys discovered, I'm going to control click to open this in a new tab. So I'm going to come here. Right? You see these issues. So one thing that you want to do is that you want to check closed issues. But most of the time, most of the time, if somebody has already detected that issue, there will be an open issue for that. So if there's an open issue for that, that means you don't have to work on it again. Someone has already worked on it. So I will show you. New issue. Let's say the issue was that part 1. This is part 1 because it was in part 1 folder that I will find it, because there's another part of the story. But in part 1, say part 1 sentence number 2. So we'll say sentence number 2. Add a description. So we can say spelling error in sentence number 2. So you can say issue. So you can just write it like this. This is the issue, right? Proposed solution. So the proposed solution is going to be throughout the kingdom for his kindness. So that's a proposed solution. So it looks like this is your first time. So what you are going to do is that you are going to create the issue while logged in to your own account. So it's going to reflect your name, right? So let me see. So you are not going to submit the issue. Can you see? Part 1. You understand? Let me do it like this. Part 1, sentence number 2. Spelling. You can leave it like this, basically. So submit. You are going to click on, before you click on submit new issue, you can assign it as a label. This label is just to categorize the issue ticket. So you can say it's a bug. You can say it's a bug. Let's select bug. That means there's an issue. It gives you this label. Then we click on submit new issue. So if you go to this issue tab again, we will notice that there is one issue that is opened. Oh, part 1, sentence number 2. There is an issue there. There is a bug there. When you click on it to see what is there, that means that somebody has complained about this issue. And we expect the repository owners to fix the issue. So what I want you guys to do is that I want you guys to open this repository and I want you guys to follow this step, create your own issue. If you see that an issue already exists, don't create that issue. I mean, there are many issues in this documentation. So go and find one in any number, go and find it and create an issue following these steps. So I think that is straightforward. I'm waiting for you guys. I'll reload this page to wait and see the issues that you guys are going to create, that you guys have detected in the documentation, either part 1 or part 2. But I really want you guys to use part 1 for now. Understand? There are a lot of spelling errors, so you guys should create your own issue tickets. So we'll be waiting for you guys. The repository is in the chat. So if you have created an issue, you can just let us know in the chat. I need to get like 1 or 2 or 3 issues. If you need if you want me to explain again, maybe Yemi will explain again. But I'm waiting for you guys issue tickets. Okay, very good. Someone has opened an issue. He said part 1, sentence number 11. Said challenges is spelled wrongly. Okay, very good. He has opened an issue. Very good. So I'm waiting for more issues. But he didn't put a bug tag. You can edit your issue and put a tag, a label. You understand? You can put a label. Lucky. You can put a label for your so that you can easily categorize. Someone can help him to put a label, or you can put a label. I'm waiting for more issues to be created. Yeah, me, so, I think you can take it from here.
Yeah, while we're waiting for more issues, so yeah, that question that just popped up in the chat is something that I am about to approach now. I love the way you're thinking, Daniel. Really, really nice approach. It's something that I was actually about to talk about now. So we have just created this with plenty bugs. And if you do have a lovely idea to make that story more interesting, please feel free to create an issue and say, to make this story more interesting, please add so, and you put it there. And in the coming processes that Bukumi will show you guys, you will see how you can actually take the projects we have, put it on your own GitHub, make these changes, and then propose it back to the main project to tell us, okay, I have made it more interesting. You guys take a look at it and you can accept it. But at this point, there's so many things you can do with it. You could go as much as going to a big organizations repos to look at, okay, what are their open sources that they have? Do they have mistake spellings in some of their readmes? I can fix that. Do they have like little bugs? Or maybe you've used the software before and it happens to be a software that is on GitHub. A lot of softwares are on GitHub. You can easily go there, create an issue and tell them there's this issue when I do this, add a bit of screenshots there to explain the process behind this and send it to them. If it's something you can fix, you know a fix to, you do the issue and then you create the fix, you download that their software onto your, he's going to explain that, and you create that fix and send it to them as well. So that's pretty much the whole idea behind this. So I believe we've got yes, we've got plenty issues now, so we can move forward. You're currently muted.
All right, sorry guys. So like I said before, two people created the same issue. Who said I can't create a label? You just have to. What do you mean by you can't create a label? So for you to, you don't have to create a label. You just have to just select. If in this right panel you see label, click on this settings icon here. So I want you guys to update your. I want you guys to update your issues with add a label. Just select one and close. Sometimes you can even select multiple. So we already have many issues, but we have a duplicate issue. Osato and Noni codes. Two of you have the same issue. So I suggest you guys, maybe I suggest Osato. Osato, update your issue, change your number and find another issue, because two people already have, somebody's having part one sentence number two too. I've already created a first issue. So I think you should change it. Joe Saretin. I think you can change your issue. Find another issue. Let me see. Said that you said spelling error in number 2 and 8. So I think you should raise only issue for number 8. You can edit your issue. You understand? You can edit your issue number to be number 8, because I've already yeah, please show us the settings icon and the add label. So okay, so let me find someone that has a unique issue. Like this person's issue now, Lucky. I'm gonna update. They said they can't add label. Okay, look at this. Can you guys do this? I'm opening Lucky's issue. I select this settings icon here, and I see label, and I
Yeah,
select this
that
label,
there
and that's
that's
it.
button icon that is right next to the word label on the right of label.
It's very good to label your issues. Also, can you find another issue, because none here has already created an issue.
No
So you
settings
guys,
option. We don't have a setting on.
you don't have a settings option. Okay, that means, let me check something. Give me a second. That means they probably don't have a settings option. Well, that's not a problem. I think we already have more than enough issues. Akiyemi, I think you can look into that. Yeah, I think I look into that. So no problem. This is good to go. I'm going to help you guys to update your labels. But I suggest that you guys, somebody has duplicate issue, line number 5. There's an issue that's already open for line number 5. Okay, no problem. All right, so let us continue. Let's continue with the step. We can work on that one later on. So let's go back to our contributing guidelines. We have already created a lot of issues, which is very, very good. It's a very, very good stuff. If you notice any issue, whether on any open source Facebook project, you can create issues there. But let us check if the issue is already raised before. Because if the issue is already raised before, I can close the issue. You understand? So, well, let's proceed. In the contributing guide, we've already created issues. So our next step is to fork the repository. When we're presenting in earlier, we made mention of forking of projects. Forking of projects means we need to create a copy because it is open source. We want to create a copy so that we can be able to contribute to the project. So what you guys are going to do is that you guys are going to go to the project again, like this project here. Can you all see my screen? You guys are going to see this fork icon here. Can you see this? Then you see this icon. As I highlight over it, I said this project has 0 forks for now. Right, good. It has 0 forks. It said fork your own copy of official AI Sensei, the legend of King Alexander. So I'm going to click on this fork. It's going to ask me, the person that asks the name, that can it change the repository name? I think you can change it here, but I think you're going to lose something. So you don't have to change the name, right? You can select to copy only the main branch, because in reality, when many people are working, for example, sometimes over 5,000 people working on a project, so they might have other branches and you might find other branches interesting. You understand? So you might want to untick this, copy the main branch only, then you create your own fork. So you guys are going to create your own fork to your own account. Then it's going to load forking official AI Sensei. It's forking it into my own personal Git account. And you can see this. You said the legend of King Alexander forked from this repository. Forked from this repository. That means this is a fork. That means this is the original repository. If you click on this line here, this is the original repository. But I've created my own copy on my own laptop. And you see this. So we've made use of this terminology, forking of projects. So you guys should create your own forks and copy your link and paste it in the chat so that we can see that you've created your own forks, so that we can continue from there. This is my own fork. Yeah, if you can't add label, no problem. Leave it for now. I want you guys to create your own fork of this project.
Yeah, I can see the forks coming through. We've got about 6 forks now.
Okay. You've got about 6 forks. That's very good. And that's very good. That's very good. So you have 6 forks. I think let us wait for the 7th person to create their own fork. Then we proceed. Let's see. Let's go back to the original repository. Oh, we already have 10 forks. Wow. So you guys can click on this star as well. If you find the repository useful, you understand, you can just encourage the people that are there by leaving a star. By clicking on this star, it's going to give it a star. So you guys can just do that on the original repository. So now that we have 10 forks, let us now clone the projects on our own laptop. So what you are going to do is that in your own forked repository, right? in your own copy, this is your own copy that shows forked from this, right? We are going to get our hands dirty now. You are going to come to this code icon here. You see this HTTPS, right? This HTTPS. You are going to select it, right? Select it like this. In your home, in your home, in your desktop, on your desktop for what's it called? For Mac users on your desktop, you can create a new folder here. Once you create a new folder here, you just it can be untitled, right? You can close this terminal. So what we want to do is that we want to clone our own forked repository to our laptop. If you look at the contributing guidelines in this original repository, it said the next step is to fork the repository. We've done that. This is step 2. We have done step 2. So the next thing is to clone the fork. Clone the forked repository to your local machine. Take notes. You are not using this. We're not using the original repository link. We're using our own forked copy that shows something like this. You see this. This is my own account. Bukumi Aluko, the legend. It is not official Sensei. It is this my own that I'll just click on this code and click on copy. Right? Once you've clicked on copy, you now come to this your new folder that you've created on your desktop. For Mac users, just options click, new terminal as folder. Then you say, let me increase the size. Then you say, because if you look at it, untitled folder, that means this terminal is in this place. You can type pwd to see the location. It is in users obkm desktop untitled folder. They will say git clone with our own URL. If you see this URL, it said https github.com bukumi aluko. So it's going to show your own GitHub username, then slash this. Then if you press enter, it will say cloning into the legend. It's cloning into my laptop. And when I open this folder like this, I will see that it has already cloned it already. So I think everybody should try that. I think everybody should try that. Are we able to? You said I should do that again. Okay.
Quick one. Let me do it on Windows.
All right, I do it on Windows.
It's the same process, but a different this thing. So I'll share real quick. I'll start from the fork process.
Share your screen.
Yeah, I'm doing that now. So I have my screen up. So this is the official AI Sensei. This is the link in the chat to the legend of King Alexander. So how do you want to start? You want to start from the forking. That's you want to create a fork by clicking that little arrow beside and create a fork. And then once you create that fork, it goes into your own personal GitHub repo. And then you can see you can create a fork that will load up. So now if you would notice that this is the new link to the created one. It's now under my own account because it's 2abed4/ the legend of King Alexander. So that is okay. Now what we need to do next is each one of you has identified one problem inside this particular account and you want to fix that problem. So to fix that problem, you probably want to have these files on your personal laptop. Now, to get these files on your laptop so that you can open it up and fix it, you would go to the code, the little green button here, click on it. Now, there is a link that is under the HTTPS here, and it has a copy URL to clipboard button right next to it. You click on that, that would have automatically I copied this link in here. Then what you do next is you open up your Git bash. Let's open it from here. It's already open, but I will reopen it again. So I'll close that one. All right, so you open up your git bash, and that pops up open. And what you do is you type git clone, and then you right click and paste, and then press enter. Oh
Yes.
yeah,
So the
I
reason why
already have this.
the reason why the reason why I was saying they should create a new folder on their desktop is so that they know where the file is located at. Because some
Yes,
people's computer, it might be difficult to find it.
to find it.
So you can show them that approach on your own Windows, and I will go over it again on the Mac. So after they've copied the link, create a folder on your desktop so that you can easily find it. So Yemi, create a folder on your desktop.
So let's do that real quick. I can come to my desktop and do a new folder, call it Github.
No, give it another name. GitHub will be it's too
Oh,
people make mistake. Else call it something else.
okay, and then we want to do a, let me see. All right, I want to navigate into, this is the problem with this. Navigate into desktop, and then do the git cd change directory workshop. Do I have that in the desktop? Oh, yeah, I don't have it on that particular desktop. One quick second. Usually from the base folder, it goes straight into my users.
Okay, can you drag the desktop inside the workshop inside the terminal? Because on Mac, I think you should be able to do that.
That's okay. There's another way to it. So once you create the folder, if we open up that workshop, so I've opened up the workshop, you can easily you hold your Alt key and F. Once you hold the Alt F, it shows this, and you can say open git bash here. Open git bash here. So what that does is that it would open a git bash in that particular location, which is what it has done now. So again, I'll go through that one real quick. You open up this, the workshop, that's this, and then you hold on. Let me see if there's another way from here. Okay, you can right click. If you're in Windows 11, it will show you something like this. You click on show more option, but if you're in Windows 10, it will just show you this automatically. So from there, you can click open git bash here in that particular location. So once you do that, it would open git bash automatically in that location. And then you can then do the git and then paste that link that you copied from the GitHub. And then once you have that, you press enter, it immediately clones that part, everything in that process into workshop, and you will see it would appear here. Is that where you stopped?
Yeah, that's where I stopped. So
All right.
I think they've gotten that. For your own, you copy the URL. You can just open, you can create your folder, or you can call it workshop, right? You open your terminal for Mac users. You can just drag this terminal here and you press enter. Okay, it didn't work. It's asking me for sudo. Okay. Okay, so you can just right click on this. You can just right click on, double click on this your folder, and you click on new terminal as folder. It will open this terminal there. Then you type in git clone. Git clone. That means to create. So take notes. Your username is going to show in this part if you've done it correctly. I press enter. It has cloned it into my local machine, right? And you can see the contents here. right? So that is after that is sorted, then we are going to take another step. So what you want to do next is that you want to you want to change your directory, you want to go inside that directory. And for us to go into that directory using command prompts is that you say cd, because if you type, for example, there's a command called ls, you see the list of folders inside this location. Then we say cd, then you type, you can just type the first 3 letters D, then you hit the tab button, it will automatically complete it for you. Then you press enter. By the time you press ls again, it shows you the content of where you are, and you see that you are in the legend of Alexander. This is the first very technical step. So some people are already getting lost. This is the most technical part, but we'll soon be done. So can you paste your link? That's what I said earlier. Let us paste our link. This is your link here from your forked repository. Copy it and paste it in the chat. Let us see. Paste it in the chat. Let us see. Somebody said, yes, Dami, that is correct. Your link is correct. Who is this? Johnson Frank. J Frank 0012. That is correct. That is the correct link. Who else?
Every single link currently in the chat looks correct.
Yes. Oh yeah, Oloye Dave. That's the correct forked repository link. I think he skipped the yeah. Ebuka, you have to fork the repository to your own account first. So once you have done that, you can now clone it into your local machine. Yeah. Temitayo, yeah. I think your own too is correct. Github.com, yeah. But I think you not type it correctly. So I think we are all good. If you are good, please thumbs up in the chat. Let us see. I've copied the great name next to Windows. So yep, it is coming. Okay. So good. I think we are already on the same page. So if you have successfully cloned the repository, you will have to cd into the repository. And I think I showed you guys how to do that. Let me close it again. I've already closed, I've already cloned the repository. If I type, let me make it bigger. If I type ls, it shows me that there's a folder called The Legend of King Alexander. But I need to go inside that folder, and using terminal to go into folders, I'll have to type cd. That's change directory into, then I'll type D. Because I don't want to type out the long name, I can just press the tab button. It will automatically complete this for me. So cd tab, then I press enter. Then you notice that this name is showing here, the king. That means I'm inside that folder. So if you have been able to achieve that, leave a thumbs up in the chat or something. If you're having issues, let us know, because that's like the base of the project. We need to do some things from there. So let us see. Are you guys able to get into the folder? I just need one like so that I can continue. I did not create a folder, but I was able to clone it. Okay, good. No wala. Guide to copy the repository after forking. You have to clone it. I'm having issues. All right, so I think we are going to help one or two people before we move further. Because we want to finish this as quick as possible. So I also want to share their screen. All right, Ogumbo, are you able to share your screen? Because we need to move from here. Let us see your screen.
me share my screen.
Okay, I've given you access to share your screen. That's it.
Yes. So okay. So why do you have so many tabs, like 1 billion tabs opened?
Just leave that.
So have you been able to clone have you been able to fork the project?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think it's here. Where is
Where
the
is your
code?
forked project? No, you've
Okay,
yeah, if you click on view existing forks, click on that fork again. View existing forks. Or you click on that Git icon. That icon at the top left, that thing that looks like a cat. At the top left, click on that icon. Yes. Let us see. The Legend of that's Osato. You have already cloned it. Click on it there. That's it.
where?
The Legend of King Alexander. That is your own forked copy. It's the third repository is up. No, left.
Oh, okay, this one.
Yes. Click on it. So you've already forked it already.
Okay,
So you now have to clone it. So click on that code.
this one.
No, there's the code that I've been
This
pointing to. Yes. Click on it.
this right. Mhm.
Yes. Then click on that icon. So it's going to copy everything correctly. That if you do it like this now, you might miss some words. So can you see that your username is there, Osato Gumbo? Can you see it?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
go to your desktop.
Okay.
So it is already the link is already copied in your computer's memory. So you can paste it anywhere. So
Okay.
go to your yes.
My desktop. Okay, can you
Yeah.
just help me? I don't know.
No, close
I
this
don't know why I
terminal.
cannot see my. Okay, I should close it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, just close that CMD. Close it. Click on the X. Click on the close.
Okay, X right.
Click on the close. Click on the close. Click on the close. Click on the close.
I can't click on it.
Press escape. Press escape.
Okay.
Yeah, click on the close. You still can't click on it, right?
Yes.
No issues. No issues. No issues. Just try to
Okay,
minimize
that's
it or
done now.
something.
Mm.
All right. So
So
minimize this one too. Minimize this one too. Close it. Yeah. Just close on here and use tab. Minimize. Minimize. You have like 1 billion windows opened. That's a
yeah.
little bit complex. All right, good. Yeah, good. So create a new folder on your Windows.
Like a normal folder, right?
Yes, a normal folder,
On
right?
your
Click on your
desktop,
Windows
yes.
desktop. Yeah, I mean, I think you can continue with your Windows people.
Yeah.
Is it open time?
So
Open in time now.
no. Create a new folder. New.
Okay.
New
Yeah.
folder. Name it workshop. That's
Yeah.
good. Open it up. Then in this, right click, show more options,
Okay.
open git bash here. So right now you can then do a git clone, git clone, then right click and then paste. Hmm.
Yeah.
No. You need to cancel that.
That is not the
Okay.
correct command.
Delete. Just delete. Aha. All right. Go back to your browser where you had the GitHub open.
Okay, okay. Mhm.
I think it's your Microsoft Edge or so. Okay. No, that's it. That's it there.
Where?
Top right. The second to the last tab. Yeah, click on the Legend of Alexander there. Then copy it. You know where to copy from.
Like from code now, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Copy. No. Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah. So go back to the Git bash now. The other
I
one.
spaced it.
Yeah, this one. Then
No.
Git.
Can,
No.
can you?
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Git clone space, right click.
I'm like, why is it?
Right click
Okay.
and then paste
Yeah. Then
and then
enter, right?
enter. So if you check that folder now, oh dear. If you check the workshop folder that you opened earlier on your desktop,
Okay. Should I minimize all this stuff?
No, you can minimize. You can minimize.
workshop folder. Open the workshop folder.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay, it's there. It's
You
there.
can see
Yes.
that it's there. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So
Yes.
the thing now is that in your terminal, if you open your terminal, like your Git bash again, you will notice that the location is not showing the Legend of Alexander. If you see it, you are inside workshop. Look at that
Yes,
address.
desktop workshop.
So now type ls. Enter. You see that there is the Legend of Alexander. That means there's that folder there. You have to enter inside that folder. So you're going to use a CD.
Which is change directory.
Change directory CD. Type CD there, then space. Then space. Then type D, THE. Then press the tab button. Tab.
Big tab, space.
No, tab. Just tab.
The
Just
one
tab.
on the left on your keyboard.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You see that it has automatically completed this for you, so that you don't have to have any spelling mistake. So press enter. You will see that. What do you see? You see that you are inside that particular folder, and you can see main in the front, in the brackets. That means we are on the main branch. And if you remember in our presentation, we said it is either main or master. And when Yemi was showing you how to install the Git, it said a little story about the main or master branch. So now you are on track, which is very, very good. I hope everyone is able to achieve this on their laptop.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you can stop sharing.
Okay.
And we'll continue the work from there. So I hope you guys have been able to do this. Someone said Ebuka, he has not been able to clone.
Ebuka, for the sake of time, you can always reach out to us. Would put out a lot of other things about ways that you can contact us, and you can reach out to us at the end of this so that we can go through it together and kind of provide some sort of solution if you need extra services. But as of right now, we are a little bit time constrained. We can move forward. Just try and follow us along, follow the process, and see how it goes forward. And the class, of course, the class is recorded. Also, to quickly add, this recording will be put on our YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, so we have done this step. If you see git clone, GitHub, the GitHub should contain your username because it's one from your fork repository. Then you change directly into that folder. Good. So Apart from that, we discussed, we've seen Git repository, we've seen Git. So what we want to work on now is Git branch. So because many people can be working on a project at the same time, we don't want everybody to work or to make changes to the main branch. We've already forked the project. We've seen that the project is on main. It's very, very visible. It was very visible on Osato's machine that she was on the main branch. So what we want to do is that we are going to create our own branch, and I'm going to show you the step to create your own branch. So this is the code to create your own branch. Git checkout -b then space your branch name. So I'm going to show you guys copy. So if you look at where I am, I'm inside this folder now, just like Osato, right? And I say, let me see. My own is I don't know, my terminal is supposed to show me that I am on the main branch, but it's not showing me. But with this Git status, I'm able to see that I'm in the main branch. Can you see your branch is up to date with the origin? Origin means the origin, that's like what is in the server is up to date. So what I want to do now is that because I want to contribute to the open source project now, I'm going to create my own branch where I'm going to be making my own changes from. So to do that, I'm going to use git check out -b. It's just like git checkout. This is a short form for branch. Then I give it a branch name. So I can call that branch name, let's say, I can call it dev hyphen Bukumi, because I don't think there's any other person that is behind Bukumi in this workshop. So you can use your own dev/anything, dev/anything, just as a branch. Then you click on enter. When you click on enter, it will tell you that switch to a new branch, dev Bukumi. That means that we are no longer on the main branch. We are now on the dev Bukumi branch. And to see the branch that you are on, you can just type git status to tell you that on branch dev Bukumi, nothing to commit, working on a clean tree. That means everything is still clean, no changes has been made. So can we all try that out? If you have been able to check out your own branch with this git checkout command, Yemi, okay, Yemi has given you an example in the chat. You can follow that example to create your own branch. Let us see whether, yeah, someone said done, good. Also, have you been able to check out? Done, good. I'm seeing a lot of done, which is very, very good.
Yes, it shows moved, sorry. Check
Switch
out
to,
new branch, switch to new branch. Yeah. To new
all right,
branch.
good. That's very good.
Yes. Then
So,
Osato.
yeah, that's good. So that means we are already on a new branch. It's just like in our presentation, we are no longer on the main blue branch. We are on our own separate branch. You can create as many branches as possible. No major limitation. So what we're going to do is that we're now going to go and make changes to fix the error. So we don't want to introduce so much complexities to the tools that we're going to use. So we're just going to use a common code editor to make the changes. So I'm going to use a Mac. I'm using a Mac, and I'm going to show you guys the Mac way. So we don't need to install any third-party software. There's a software called Text Edit for Mac users. Windows users, Yemi will show you example. This Text Edit, we open it. Once we open it, then we can drag this our README file in this part 1. See, I open this workshop, right? I open this Legend of Alexander, and I open this part 1 because this was where the spelling error was. I cannot drag it inside. Okay, that didn't work as planned. So let me just use the other approach. Let's see. Okay, let me use the other approach. File, create on file, I mean, click on file, sorry, open. Then we go and locate the file. The file is in my desktop. This desktop. The Legend of Alexander, part 1. Then I open this README file. Inside this, it's going to open it for me here. So you see that this one is delete. This one has opened. This is the contents of the file. So I'm going to make it bigger so that you guys can see it. Let me put it with my full screen. So I created an issue for line number 2, right? Let me go and check the issue again. I created an issue for line number 2. Where is it? My issue. We have 14 issues now. This was my own issue that I created, sentence number 2, right? I opened this issue speed. So, okay, let me now look for it. Sentence number 2. Then you see this error. I'm going to fix it by typing in the correct spelling. Notice I'm about to make a change to this file. So I'm going to change it. I'm going to type in the correct one. K-I-N-G, dumb kindness. So I have fixed the issue now for that line number 2, right? Then I'm going to close this editor. So it has already saved. The change that I made is already saved, right? You can also do open with text edit. The change has already been made. Then when I go to my terminal back and I click on Git status, you can see it said on dev. Sorry, ignore this. Say on dev Bukumi, changes not staged for commits and some additional information. And it says modified. Notes modified. That means I have made some modifications to that file. So because I've already corrected the error in that particular line. So after making that change, I am going to create what they call a commit. That means I'm going to like take a snapshot. You understand? So for me to take a snapshot, I'm going to use this command. Where is this the guide? I'm going to use this command to commit my change in step 6. I've done this, make changes to the code base, ensure that your code, I've already made changes. Then what I want to do is that I want to commit my changes. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use this convention. I'm going to first of all type in git add dots. Git add dots is just a short form for adding all the files that I made changes to. So I'm going to say git add dots. Then I say git status again to see the status. Git status. You see that it is no longer red. Before it was red, but now it's green. Can you see? Changes to be committed. Before it said no change stage for commit, but now it's saying changes to be committed is now green. That means it is ready to collect a commit message. So there is a way to automatically close that issue that was created. I'm going to use that method, but you can use other methods too. But to automatically close that issue, I'll use a particular method. And for us to do that, we have to create a commit. That's like a snapshot. I've already staged all the files that I made changes to. So this staged. Then I'm going to create a commit. The command to create a commit is also here of this pattern. So I'll say git commit -m. Then I'll write my commit message. Is good to, you can follow this convention. You can say git commit -m. Then you put in quotation mark. You say fixes, fixes. Then I go and copy my issue number. This is my issue number, not this number 2 that is here. This is my issue. This is the issue number here. This one that is grayed out, right? I copy this issue number. That means that I'm saying that it fixes this issue. Number 3, then I can, and I say, I can put a semicolon just to give like an additional message, say fixes the spelling, or fix the okay, or I can say spelling error corrected, or anything, right? So once I do that, I press enter, and it tells me that one file change, one insertion, and one deletion. After doing that, going back to this guide, I'll say git push origin, then my branch name. So I can say git push only first. Let us see, it's going to show me an error. Say git push. It says to push the current branch and set the remote as upstream, I have to use this command. So I'll just copy this. This command here is, it needs update. So I'll just paste it here, and you tell me that I have pushed all the changes. So I have pushed all the changes to my own forked project. The next step will be creating a pull request and merging it into the original repository. So I want you guys to try to do the same step. Yemi is going to try to go over it again by showing you how to do it on Windows. So Yemi.
All right, given that a lot of you guys were following this, even though it was on Mac, is quite similar, so I might be slightly fast with it, but I'll try to be as clear as possible. So I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Where we stopped last was changing our directory to the Legend of King Alexander, which was exactly the same step with the Mac. The next step was to create our own branch, which was git checkout-b, then with dev your name. Dev, I used here most, not Bukumi. Now it has switched to a new branch, and you would notice straight right here, we've got dev here most on the screen. So
Yemi,
we are
is there a way
currently
you can make your terminal bigger? Yep.
so
Yeah.
I think that should be clear, all right? So this is main. Immediately we switched, it switched to dev yemost. And if you do a git status, you can see it's now on branch dev yemost. Nothing to commit, working trickling. So I'll go make my own edit as well. I'm not going to push it, but I'll make my own edit. So if I go to the workshop, which I had opened, I opened that up, go to part 1. And then with Windows user, you can easily just use Notepad. Notepad will work fine for you. And then you open that up. So the edit I want to make is a mysterious. I hope I get the spelling. No, not that one. It should be mysterious. Yeah. So I've made an edit on the third one. So one day while exploring the royal gardens, Alexander met a mysterious old woman. Immediately I'm done with that, I save. I have saved that. I can close it. That is closed. And I can easily come here and let me try and make this slightly bigger. I want this in the background. Yes. So I'm following the step that is in the contributing guide. So if you are lost at any point in time, just look at what you've done last and check the contribution guide to know what is next. So because I've made the changes to the code base at this moment, now I can say git add, then dot. That dot means it will check for everything that has been changed and add it to a list to be committed. So once I click that, it does the git add. And then if I do a git status to check, okay, has it committed anything? You would notice changes to be committed. It has committed the modification, that modification that happened on part 1, readme in part 1. So we are clear on that. We can then move forward to creating a commit. So that will be git commit according to this right here, git commit -m, and we would have these two explain. So it's always good. In fact, it's a good syntax practice. You always have to put it like a short description of what your commit is. And as he was explaining earlier on, if you guys knew, you check the fixed number of what you're trying to do. So in this case, it would be, I'm going to use Bukumi's fix in as much as you use your own personal fix. I'm using Bukumi's fix because I did not open a fix, or I could even try to use someone else's fix. So let's say I fixed line 3, right? So let's check this line 3. This is number 6. And then I want to have this in the background. I come back to this, and then I have fix. That's this one. Fix number 6. And then I explain spelling error fixed. And that is it. And then I commit. It says one file has been changed, which means the old file that was the original README file in that particular repo has been changed, is ready to be changed. There will be a insertion, which means it will insert the new one and it will remove the old one. So it will replace it in essence. So once that is done, we can then move on to do a git push origin. Now, this is where it gets different. Now, normally you would do a git push origin main, but in this time around, we are working with a different branch. So it will be a git push dev yemut. That is the name of your new branch. So once you do that, you press enter and you wait for it, and it automatically pushes that to your dev yemust. So that was where you stopped on your own part as well, Bukumi.
Yeah, so quick show of hand. He said your screen is not showing 231. What is that? Your screen was showing. So how many of us were able to create our own branch and apply our own fixes? If you're able to create your own branch, signify so that we can give you necessary support. I hope you are not afraid to make that change. I hope it does not, because sometimes you might be scared to make the change because it looks complex. I want you guys to try it out. Try it out. Maybe we do an example for someone. And Temitope, I don't know. Okay, were you able to do that? Someone said this is on it. Let us wait for them. No. Okay, Temitayo, why no? What's the issue?
I got lost at that workshop part
Okay,
when you asked us to use the notepad or so.
let us use your screen as an example. I've corrected the issue I created too, but the git status output is the same. All right, good. Okay. Let us see Azizat. Emi, you will assist Temitayo later. But Azizat, can you share your screen? Let us see what you are saying. Because I think you've been able to create the.
Okay.
You will have to share your screen.
Okay, so I'm using my phone to
Oh wow.
um, no, I use my okay phone power. I use my phone to join the
Meet.
meeting, but my system is right here.
All right. Okay. So what we are going to do is that we are going to try
My
to
back
quickly
camera.
finish up. What I was expecting is for you to share off laptop screen, but no issues. So what we're going to do is that we're going to try to quickly finish up as fast as possible. Then we now go on to assisting you guys because we want to keep the workshop like extremely short. So yeah.
All right, thank you.
Since you've seen the last flow, what is left, right, is to create. Let me share my screen. Yep. So what is left is to create Once you've pushed your commit, as you can see, you need to what? Push your code, right? Then you create a pull request. And for you to create a pull request, I'm going to show you, just follow this step. Go to the branches page, right? So I will do that now. Let me go to my repository. The name is the legend. Okay. This is my own sorry, this is not my fork repository. This is my own fork repository. So if you click on these branches here, you see that there are some branches here. There's main branch. This is my own branch. And if you look at this place, it said I've pushed, my own branch was updated 10 minutes ago, right? And if you check this, you see it is ahead of one. That means I've created one commit and it is now ahead of the main commit. So for example, look at this now. You see this commit here? This other one on the line, it is ahead. This one is 2 commits ahead, 3 commits, just to give you like a visual feel. See this 1 commit ahead. In my own fork repository, see this Bukumi Aluko, the legend of King Alexander. That means it's my own fork repository. And this is the branch that I created for myself, that I pushed the fix. Then you will see this place, you see pull request. There's no pull request created. Just like we were discussing in these common terminologies, pull requests. We've created a commit. So now I want to create a pull request. Pull request to request the admin to review our changes and to merge it into their own repository. So I want you guys to watch closely. For this, my branches, you see, these 3 icons of options icon, you click on it, you create a new pull request, and you see this. Then look closely. When you look closely, you see that a title is automatically created. I can write a description here, and I want you guys to pay attention to this. Look at this now. It says base repository official AI Sensei. That means that's the original repository. And this is the target, this is the original repository main branch, right? So it shows an arrow showing that from Bukumi Aluko / the legend of King Alexander, I am comparing this, my dev branch, to the main branch. So I'm creating like a pull request from my own branch in my own forked repository to the main original branch. So I'm creating a pull request to that particular original repository. And if you scroll up, you see allow edits by maintenance, and it will show you the difference. You see this difference? You said this is the red line. This is the remove. This is the deletion that Yemi was talking about. It deleted this line, then it updated it with this new line. You see that the error, the issue has been fixed. It shows me the exact change that I made, and it shows the file. You can see this clearly. Part 1 readme.md. See the change. Then once that is done, you just create your pull request. You notice that is doing some processing, and I've created the pull request. Yeah, this is the pull request title, and so it's following this guide. I've clicked on the three dots, and I've created a new pull request. So the pull request has a title, right? But there are no reviewers. I can click on these reviewers to add someone to review the code. It shows their name here. That's because reviewers have to review your changes before they merge it into their main branch and accept the pull request. So you can also add a label as fix, but we don't have any customized label. So I'll leave that like that. So I've created a pull request and I've added a reviewer. In fact, I've added 2 reviewers to review the code, the changes that I made. So when the code is accepted, they will approve your pull request and they can now merge it into the main repository. So because I have access to the repository, Yemi, I think
Yeah.
you should show them the reviewer's view.
Yeah, definitely. So
So
I'll pop that up real quick. Let's see. That should be this one, I believe. All right. So as a reviewer, this is what I get. It says Bukumi Aluko has requested your review on this pull request. It shows me, okay, Bukumi has sent a particular fix for a spelling error corrected, and he has requested me to look at it and get a fix. So pretty much all I can do is I can come here, add my review. I check this. Okay, so it shows me this is what I had previously. It's working with line 2. Okay, that is kingdom. So this is the green one. This is the insertion. You can see the plus. It's a kingdom kindness. So that is correct. And I can easily from here say, I can approve this, submit the review. This is from my own view at this point. And then because I've approved that, I can easily come here. Because I've accepted that particular change that is made, I can come and then merge it into the main, our own repository to create that change automatically now because it has been accepted. If that was not accepted, I would have added a comment on there to say, oh, this does not look like our guideline, or this is not the correct thing. And then, but it because it's the correct thing, I can then squash and merge it at this point in time, which I'm going to do and
so wait,
confirm.
before you
It's
confirm,
too late.
all right. So before you confirm, I could have added some additional description in that my pull request. I can put the link of the issue in the pull request. I can update the title to fixes issue or something. I can add additional description. So let us go back to the maybe from the original repository. Show them that the code has been updated.
You would notice immediately I'd matched that, you would notice that this is now has changed to fixes 3 spelling error corrected. And then if I open it up and check, you would see that this is now the right spelling. And for every one of you, if you go and check the official AI Sensei Legend of King Alexander, you would notice that that has been corrected. So this could have been a new fix, maybe when you were using Lemfi or something. If you press the load money button, it was not working for a certain kind of phone, and you have told them about it, and then one of their developers went and worked on it, and then they merged it and do the merging and check everything, review and merged everything together, and then that button now clicks. They just merge it and it automatically goes into their code base and it works.
Yeah. So this is just pretty much an example of what happens day to day, like from big organizations to small organizations. This is very similar process. Whether you're a data scientist, AI, software engineer, or some form of technical person that works with software and products, this is just like a practical example of like what is being done. Whether you're an engineer earning £60,000 to £200, $200,000, it's still similar process. So Yemi, I think we'll complete the slides so that once we complete the slides, we can now go into like can we create like breakout sessions to assist people one-on-one? Or let's leave that. Let's complete this workshop first. They are already
Yes.
close to the end so that they can follow the guide to complete it. Yeah, so continue the slides.
So yes, that is good. Pretty much we've been able to fully get the workshop from the Git setup to the GitHub setup to contributing to the open source. Honestly, I would say we've hit a bit of some technical snags along the way. We've lost some people, we've gained some people, but yes, the video will be available. You can always go over the video multiple times to your art content to get where you might have gone wrong. I know a lot of people, one of the few places they go wrong is when they miss out on maybe a forward slash or a space somewhere, or they mistype something somewhere. Very, very common fault. You want to type the I, you type the L. You want to type the L, you type the I, there will be an error. So you have to be very careful of that as well. And that is it for the workshop. And um, right now, we are just going to give you a brief introduction to people that made this happen. That is myself, Akinyemi Bukumi, your lovely Mac lover, who has been giving it to you guys back to back all day. And we've got our lovely Korede. He's been in the back end making all the workings, accepting people, making every single thing work. And so, yes, if you would like to contact us at the moment, these are ways in which you can contact us. You can take a screenshot if you're on your mobile device or anything. We can drop some of this in the chat. aisensei.co.uk currently should be up very soon. You can reach out to us in the emails. The QR code will give you a link to all our social accounts, be it on LinkedIn, be it on WhatsApp, be it on help me out here. Twitter, you have every single one in there. So you can always reach out to us there, especially for people that might be having issues or people that are currently looking at building some sort of careers at the moment. You want to build careers, you are looking at leveraging on certain kind of projects, or you don't even know what project to leverage on. You want to amass that project experience. Reach out to us through one of these links. We will guide you through the kind of project that you need to do. And trust me, in as much as this GitHub might look like it's completely abstract, this is one of the places in which you can showcase these projects that you have. You could even go as far as creating something as beautiful as this with your GitHub. This was made from GitHub and is currently being hosted by GitHub. You could have something as lovely as this that will showcase your resume, that will showcase your project. I have not finished it yet, but yeah, a lot of these things you can get people to contact you there. So this is you putting yourself out there as someone that is beginning your career, or if you are someone that is already into the career and you are looking to upskill, bring something new to that career that you're currently into. GitHub is a wonderful way to organize your project, organize your workflow, keep it as good as possible. There are still a lot of things here and there that you can integrate into that your workspace. But if you reach out to us with the links that I have up there, then definitely would be able to help you structure it better and work something that would work for you out.
Yep, and this video will be uploaded so that you can always go through it
So
again. So I think Korede will say something before we round up.
All right, thank you very much, Bukumi. Thank you guys very much for the training, and thank you guys for attending. We surely do appreciate you guys for taking your time out. It's not easy to spend this much time. So I just wanted to let you guys know that this is just the start of something big. The intention here is to empower people with skills that would be very useful for them in real life, skills that will convert to revenue for them, skills that would literally change their lives. So the point here is, while we are at this, there will be some trainings that we'll do that will be free. There will be some that will be paid, but it's all geared towards changing your life entirely, because we're all here in the UK trying to make a living, trying to survive, and just going for your master's degree or whatever, it's not just enough really. These are the skills that you need to, show yourself out there and all that. So thank you very much for attending. Thank you very much for attending, and I hope that in future sessions you would attend and also invite more people to join us in this very
feedback form is
job.
going to get dropped in the chat. We
Yeah, and
love
it's
feedbacks.
going to be dropped to only those people that said they want to be contacted, like via email, because we are going to filter out the people that said they don't want to be contacted. But if you want to be contacted, you can send us an email so that we can update you WhatsApp channel, we are keeping it as minimal as possible. We don't want unnecessary notification. We just want valuable notifications. So you guys can always follow us on different social media. If there's any question, like we're still gonna wait behind again after the session to still assist some people, right? So, but we just want to keep it short and finish this meeting. So thank you very much, guys, for attending. Really appreciate you
Yeah.
guys. And
Please
Yemi, I think
follow
you
us
can
on
stop.
LinkedIn. Very important. Please
Yeah,
follow
you
us on
Yemi,
LinkedIn and please share our posts. Thank you very much.
Yemi, you can stop the recording. So the guys that are having issues, you just wait behind. We'll sit down and finish this issue if you're able to wait. So okay, let's just continue.